Before we get into this, I just want to be abundantly clear that nothing about this video is intended to bash Kumanovo or give them a bad reputation. The goal has always been to educate and give insight to players who are looking to pursue a career overseas. If you ask any overseas vet, I'm sure they all have a handful of experiences where situations or circumstances weren't ideal. This one just happens to be mine. So I'll walk you through that, and I'm sure we'll be able to identify a few mistakes that I made, but at the end of the day, it's all a learning experience. I'm hoping to grow from all of this, and hopefully you guys can do the same. The main reason I signed with this team was because it offered the most exposure. Their big pitch to me was putting together a roster they thought could help us qualify for the FIBA Europe Cup League, while we would also be playing in the Balkan League. So that's 2 respected international leagues, which means I'm able to showcase my talents in multiple countries, hopefully creating opportunities for me the following season in multiple markets. So to give you guys some perspective, I'll take you back to the beginning of the season, our first big game. The FIBA Europe Cup League is hosting a tournament. In order to qualify for the league, we have to win 3 straight, so this is a big week for us. But it also turned out to be the beginning of the end. All week leading up to this, we were all under the impression that we'd be flying out a few days in advance. But just 3 hours prior to this trip, the management informed us that we'd be driving 45 hours to the Netherlands.
I just want to say that we traveled just 3 hours from the start.
As I'm sure you can imagine, this trip was fucking exhausting, so I'll spare you the film.
Pega, pega! Ah!
Muy bravo. We made it. Oh man. Now I'm gonna go down to the weight room and just move a little bit, get a little sweat. I think the big task right now is to just kind of like release all the bullshit that has happened in the last 35, 40 hours. And just focus on what's in front of me. At the end of the day, the job still needs to be done. And I need to keep the big picture at hand.
At 5 in the morning, I wake up to 5 for my yearnings. The fear in my mind is a warning. Pray to the one.
First of all, Jonathan Holmes, it was a tough game, for sure, but it was also a tough ride to come to this place. How was your traveling to come to here?
It was interesting. It's a 40 plus hour bus trip, so we got in last night and prepared the best we could. Yeah, the trip was pretty intense.
And then you had almost very little time, no practices before this game, so already in front, you know, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Well, some story you heard just now. How was your preparation for your team to come to Groningen to the bubble?
I mean, I think we prepared really well. We flew in I think a day or two before. You know, got here, rested, and then the next day came in, got some shots up, had 2 practices, and just really focusing in on Kumanova's, you know, offense, and, you know, worrying about our defense, and, you know, just sticking to our game plan.
Just got on the bus, heading back to Kumanova. Another 40-plus hour drive after a shit show, but we'll talk about that later. So here we go.
Okay, let's try this again.
That was depressing. Yeah, I think we weren't even tripping off the loss. It was more so like why we lost and how we lost. You know what I mean? We just drove 46 hours to get to this game, and we have to play the next day. It felt like a smack in the face by the management of the club. Like they didn't really care, and this was something that obviously the players were really invested in. When we got back to Kumanovo, that's when things kind of just started to unravel.
You guys remember my boy Rob?
He played 1 year at Texas Southern, and after college wasn't able to find himself a basketball gig. Spent the last 2 years at home working a 9-to-5, and decided this year he wanted to give it another chance. So he took a gamble, paid for his own flight to get out here, bet on himself, tried out for the team, and now here we are.
Coach ended up sending him home about 2 months after, all because supposedly he didn't give him a high five at halftime of one of our games. Rob says the situation never happened, which I don't doubt. I think they were looking for an excuse not to pay him, which sucks given all he's had to overcome the last 2 years just to get this opportunity. And then there's my boy John. Me and John formed a really good friendship, mostly because we had to rely on each other through a lot of hard times. Between watching the management constantly manipulate guys, on top of not paying us for 4 months straight. To make matters worse, our team got kicked out of the Balkan League. Shortly after the news surfaced, John canceled his contract with the team. He found a good club in Slovenia where I played my first 2 seasons overseas.
So now I'm the last one in the house. For the last 2 months, I'd say, I was having conversations with my agent about finding me a new team. But it got to the point where I just told him I wanted to cancel my contract with the team. This was kind of ballsy because at this point I didn't have another team to go to, and technically they could kick me out of my apartment at any time. My agent and the team agreed that I would have a meeting with them and we'd come up with a settlement on how much money I would be paid before I left, and this would buy me some time for my agent to find me a new club. So yeah, it was just a waiting game at this point.
I was lucky enough to have a little visitor at this time, which honestly was perfect timing because it was the exact distraction that I needed while playing this waiting game.
I didn't even realize that it like fell on Thanksgiving, so that was a nice little surprise. I'm thankful for God because I don't know, he's like giving me like some like peace of mind when like my circumstances and like the situation seems a bit chaotic and hectic. I feel like I'm still very confident and solid about like the trajectory of things. Not thankful for that cat.
So while she's visiting, I'm also taking calls from different agents, different coaches, just talking to anyone who can hopefully help me find a new club. And as of now, there's only one team that's expressed interest in offering me a contract.
Yep. Yeah, I've watched a few games, and it seems like you play 4 guards, all guards with size, so that you can switch 1 through 3. Now we just sit back and wait, pretty much. This is one of the more difficult parts about this job, is that, you know, you work your ass off and try to put yourself in a good position to be successful on the court, and it really just depends on somebody else deeming you good enough or not. You know, it's all he told me that they're making a decision between
me and another player. Yeah, so now I just wait, really, and then just hope. This is definitely the job that I prefer. I have another offer in Herceg-Novi, and I've kind of been stalling that one because I just have a weird feeling about it.
I called you because I'm a serious man, and I want you to know that I'm thinking about what we talked about, and I'm still 100% sure that you are the player that we need.
Absolutely.
That's the guy I want, and that's the guy we need.
Okay.
When I was a kid, it was a big deal too.
Okay.
So if they win, then we would not have to bring another coach. Okay.
Another coach.
Yes, sir. Because if they lose 2 in a row, we would probably need to change the coach.
Okay.
Okay, you feel me? You get what I'm saying? I mean, if
luckily, this one came through because I'm probably running out of time with the Herceg-Novi deal. So if this doesn't work out, then I'll definitely have to take that. Okay, tell me. So what happened?
we are about to get the deal.
Fuck yeah.
Today,
what did the coach say?
Coach said to me, I was talking with my GM. We want him. Please talk with my GM and finish the deal. I told you, you need to trust me.
Oh, let's go!
Yeah, let's go. So give me some hours, and also I need to talk with Alex about the termination because we need to move fast.
Yes.
We need to be in the Czech Republic as soon as possible. Yeah, better country.
Yes.
Better organization, better team, like European country. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Today I will talk with GM to see what's happening, what's the offer, how are the accommodations, how are the deal, what is the deal. So, but at least I need some few hours.
My man, thank you. And then I'll work on Alex and see if I'm gonna try to get him over to my house. He's gonna try to lowball me with the money, but at this point, I'll just take whatever he has.
Yeah, you're gonna meet with him?
Yeah, today he said he can meet with me.
Okay, good, okay.
The emergency brake when you're driving, but if you're parking, you put in neutral and use emergency brake. So
we're in where right now?
We're in neutral, which is the middle. So
if I want to go one, boom, boom.
Yeah, well.